powers, Rita. I'm the Green Ranger.
Ultrazord, power up! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Ultrazord sequence complete! Lock on and fire! Get to the command center!
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Carlos, aka Vlatez, and you might be wondering why the background is a little different for today's video. Well, that's because today is National Power Rangers Day. So happy National Power Rangers Day to you guys. Now, as you could probably see from the intro as well as the collection that you see behind me right now, I am a huge fan of the Power Rangers, especially from the seasons of basically 1 through 6, from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all the way to they hit space. I hope you enjoy today's video. It is going to be a little different, so just sit back, relax, and let's kick it into Morphin time. Today I will be doing some unboxing as well as also some game reviews. So as you saw in the intro, I'm sure, I have a lot of boxes. From Hasbro, from GameStop, from Walmart, from Amazon, and even just random pickups, as well as also some of these items that were just already in my personal collection. So I'm here to basically show you what I have, what I received, and go from there. So I do hope you enjoy this video. The first unboxing, well, I guess in a way I'm gonna call this the unveiling, because they're basically going to be showing off what's inside these packages, not so much as opening them up. So let's go for it. The first one comes from Hasbro. This one does not say Hasbro. We're going to start with this one. This one I actually received today. So basically by the time you see this video, it's probably been about a day or 2 days old now. But this is the first one that I got. So I got my little handy knife, and we're just gonna start ripping this open. Now I know what I have, I just don't know in what order I have them in. So everything here, just so you know, is Power Rangers related. Clearly, National Power Rangers Day. Don't forget it. Mark your calendars for next year. Some bubble wrap, big bubble wraps. I'll let my cat mess with that. Now, The first one up here is from Hasbro. The Lightning Collection Power Rangers Putty Patrols. The 2-pack. Check it out. This is actually quite incredible. I'm kind of bummed that it's covered up. Most of the time, these toys, they'll have a little bit of a see-through in them, so that way you can actually see the figures. This one does not. So we'll have a little bit of a zoom in with each of these unveilings that I'm going to be doing, so that way you can see them in closer depth. Next one up that my cat's getting a hold of. It's another box, bigger box. Take my knife. And this one is from Walmart. Power Rangers Lightning Collection Alpha 5 and Zordon. See, that's what I'm talking about. Having the little clear plastic so that way you can see the figures on the inside. You can see yourself in the reflection. Or I guess you'll see me in the reflection, if that makes sense. Next up, another Hasbro. Alright, luckily enough that knife was covered up and now it's exposed. So we're going to open this one up. This one's smaller than the Putty Patrol box as well as the Walmart box. But hopefully the items inside are just as good. Alright. First one up here from Hasbro themselves. This one's cool. This one I'm a fan of because a lot of people loved Tommy being the Green Ranger, White Ranger, leader of the Rangers eventually and stuff like that. Zeo Turbo coming back as Black Dino Thunder and all that stuff. You know? But he was my favorite as a kid. But as I grew older, I started to respect this 6th Ranger. And I think as soon as I said that, a lot of you know who I'm talking about. And that is Lightning Collection, the Gold Zeo Ranger tray of Triforia. Now, I do have the Jason double pack Comic-Con exclusive that has the Gold Ranger and the Red Ranger, but Jason's cool and all, but he's not the Gold Ranger. Or not originally, anyway. This guy was. This guy, tray of Triforia, with a new head sculpt, specifically for the Gold Ranger. Yeah, it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 3 of the same guys who were in real life triplets, but in the show they became Tray of Courage, Tray of Wisdom, and Tray of Heart. And they formed the three into the Tray of Triforia to the Gold Zeo Ranger. This is an amazing figure. Originally, I liked the original ones that they released when I was a kid. They did release another one that was in the Legacy line, the last set that Bandai produced and distributed. And I thought that one was okay, but the paint job kind of lacked on it, and some of the details were okay. This one, the details are way better. However, and you know, it only bugs me so much is that the Gold Ranger, his staff, it's in the open position. You can see it. It's basically when he's starting to activate the Zeo staff to fire his little fireballs and all that stuff. So I would have liked it if they had the regular staff closed up as well. But overall, it's a pretty good figure. All right. Next is, let's see, take this knife. Another box. This one doesn't have anything on it. Okay, so this box is coming from, open it all the way. This one is coming from GameStop. And this one was the most expensive one of the bunch. Ooh, check that out. Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa. Two iconic original villains from season 1 and 2. After 10,000 years, well, in this case, after about 25, 27 years, even though this says 25 years in the making, I guess, but I'm pretty sure the anniversary is what, 27 years now? So they might be a little late with that, but it's okay. I want to say it's the first official Rita Repulsa figure, but it's actually not. Disney, I believe it was, that put one out. Disney, when they were transferring the rights to Bandai, back to Bandai, after Disney failed with trying to put out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the remixed reboot version where they had like these old 1966 Batman graphics and stuff. Man, did that fail. But they did put out Rita Repulsa for that specific Power Ranger figure line. It was about this big, and it was missing so much details. So this one is probably the best Rita Repulsa figure you could ever get that exists. Comes with a lot of neat stuff. Roses, the cake, the wedding cake, the crystals to make the Dark Rangers, which Zed failed to do because it was like half an episode and he never even got a chance to launch the Dark Rangers. Comes with the love potions and the item to make his monsters grow. And yeah, it's a pretty cool 2-pack from GameStop. All right, next we have 2, not 1, but 2 more Hasbros. Now with these are the reason I ordered from Hasbro. It wasn't the Gold Ranger. The Gold Ranger was a plus. And then collecting all these other ones was a plus. But I forget how it happened, but somebody forwarded me, I guess, an ad saying that, hey, there's some exclusive figures coming out. You can only get them through Hasbro. And I'm going, okay, well, that's great. I'm not going to be able to probably find out how to order from Hasbro because I don't work for them or anything like that, because I thought you had to be like an employee or maybe like a special sponsored person that either works for the company or goes to the conventions like Comic-Con or E3 or any of those types of things. Here we go. And this one's actually sealed up kind of nicely. Like they actually took a lot of work to make sure I could almost not get into this box. Yep. All right. This one I thought was cool. This one was my second reason why I ordered from Hasbro. So this one is Lightning Collection, sorry. Ranger Slayer. Check that out. You can't tell me that's not awesome. I tried looking for this in retail stores also. Even, you know, for this one, I was willing to pay up for it just because I was like, man, this one looks so cool, but can I actually find this one? And even though I ordered it, I even tried to still go out and look for it in person. Absolutely no store carried it. So I was actually happy that I ordered it from Hasbro before they sold out. You can check their website and see if they got any more in if you are interested in it. But that is a pretty awesome figure. You know, it comes with the Bow of Darkness. If you don't know the history, basically the Pink Ranger was one of 3 Rangers in the Boom comics that the Power Rangers are people are making for the Power Rangers. They're making some comic books, and it tells a whole new story. And basically, the Pink Ranger is one of 3 Rangers that survived an alternate universe of I believe it was Tommy, who was an evil Green Ranger, but in this alternate universe within the comics, he basically ends up becoming evil, like more evil than in the show. And Jason, the Red Ranger, was basically given, or was in the process of being given, the White Ranger powers instead of Tommy. And Tommy came to that time period or whatever, and he basically stabs Jason, the original Red Ranger, with his dragon dagger, killing him, and then he steals the White Ranger powers, and he becomes Lord Draken. Basically a merge of a White Ranger and a Green Ranger together, and he becomes more evil than ever. And he puts a spell on Pink Ranger, similar to the way that Rita did to Green Ranger, of making them evil, but in this case, making her evil. So she was basically the evil Pink Ranger, known as the Ranger Slayer, who later becomes, well, I was gonna say good guy, but it's more of a good gal. So yeah, she is definitely grown on to me as being one of my favorites. I am disappointed that there is no head sculpt for it, such as, you know, a human head sculpt like most of these Power Ranger figures usually get, because Lord Draken even got a head sculpt of a Tommy figurehead. But this one did not come with a Kimberly head. But if I were to open this, I can just take the Kimberly head from the regular Pink Ranger and pop it on her, and it'll be close enough. So yeah, Ranger Slayer, check her out. She's awesome. Now, before I get to the last Hasbro one, which some of you guys probably know who it is by now, because we're getting pretty up there. I'm gonna change things up, and I'm gonna do my Amazon box. This is a massive box. From Amazon. I'm starting to learn, if you can, if there's certain figures you want, certain games you want, try going directly to the company themselves to see if you can get a better deal if they offer it. Sometimes you'd be surprised that they do. So I open that. Tape. Alright, now in my collection, besides anything that's Mighty Morphin to Power Rangers in space, I do collect a variety of other ones just because, especially on the Legacy line as well as the Lightning collection, because those figures are pretty well detailed that I actually decided to wanting to collect all of them, especially when I missed out on some of the figures from the Lightning collection, or not Lightning, but the Legacy line that Bandai produced and distributed. Man, I failed to get a couple of them, and looking back on it now, I regret it, because when I go online trying to look for these figures, oh man, I gotta pay up like about anywhere from $50 to $100 depending on the figure. And that goes for anything collectible. So this time I'm trying to buy everything, and I'm trying to buy, at least, if I can't buy everything, I'm trying to buy everything that's exclusive, because those are the first ones to be jacked up in money. So SPD Omega Ranger, the first Lightning collection that contains a vehicle with them. How cool is that? Now this one was one of Disney's Power Rangers series, close to one of their last series, I think. And this one was actually a pretty awesome show. In my opinion, for Disney, SPD is one of the best ones. It takes place in the future. It's kind of like kind of blends in with a little bit of Time Force. You like Time Force from Bandai's Power Rangers, you might like SPD from Disney's Power Rangers. And yeah, this guy is not only takes place in the future, because SPD takes place in the future. I don't remember exactly the year that it takes place, but whatever the year SPD was taking place, which is in the future, this guy comes even from way further into the future. So this guy is technically, even though he's marked as SPD, he's like a future SPD Ranger, if that makes any sense. Like the other colored characters from red, blue, green, I think there was a pink and a yellow with those five. Those five are future Rangers, but this one is from way into the future, even past them. And you never see this guy unmasked or removing his helmet or anything like that until I believe it was like the very last episode that you get to see who was inside the Omega Ranger. And yeah, that's my cat getting ready to, I don't know what he's up to. Trying to check out all the figures. He's interested. You should be too. So yeah, that's my Omega Ranger from SPD. Now the other item that was inside this big long box, has another long box within it. Does anybody know what this is? I'm sure some of you guys do. If you want a hint, this, what's in here, actually goes well with what's in here. Amazon, Hasbro. These two are meant to be together, and you'll see why. So, let's see. Alright, so unbox it from here. Now, remember I said my favorite set of series was from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all the way to In Space. So that'd be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, season 1, 2, and 3. Season 3.5, if you want to consider it that way, which is when the Alien Rangers showed up, Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. Then there was a Power Rangers Zeo, and then Power Rangers Turbo, and then finally was the Power Rangers in Space. Now, there was something about Power Rangers in Space that made it so freaking awesome, but it never got released to kids when the show was actually around when I was a kid. And we were all upset. You know, I have an uncle, a few cousins that later started watching the show, and then I had some family members that used to watch it with us, me and my cousins and, you know, my friends and stuff. And they thought this made Power Rangers awesome. You know, Power Rangers was awesome way when Mighty Morphin was around. Then slowly, with Zeo, it started getting a little pretty awesome. Then with Turbo, for reasons I won't really say, except the little Blue Ranger that grows because he's a kid, start going downhill real quick. I think it was basically because of that reason. Then Power Rangers in Space happened, and they had some unique features to it. You know, they had a spaceship that turned into a Megazord. They had, for whatever reason, they had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show up, which, you know, as a kid, I was like, huh, that's pretty cool, except it was the god-awful costume set from the live action TV show, and not more like the first two movies, you know, live action. So yeah, it was not great. But when these characters debuted in Power Rangers in Space, that made it amazing. Everybody loved it. If you talk about Power Rangers in Space, you cannot talk about and make a conversation without mentioning what's in this box. Let's see if I can pull it out now. Probably not. Thought I could. Alright. They did an amazing job trying to keep all this sealed up and packed really well. So, as I said, yeah, you can't make a conversation of Power Rangers in Space without mentioning these characters. Remember what made Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers awesome from season 1? The evilness of a Green Ranger. Yeah, same rules were applied. Power Rangers met their match. They eventually destroyed them and everything, but it took a while. Oh my gosh. This is so amazing. The Psycho Rangers.
We're the Psycho Rangers. We're faster than you, smarter than you,
Stronger than you. But we're evil!
Bandai, before they transferred the rights to Hasbro, released Red, Blue, and Black. Like maybe, I want to say like a year ago. Only a year ago or so. They never made Pink and Yellow. And everybody was bummed because we were like, dude, we want a whole set. Well, we got a whole set now. We got the red, pink, yellow, black, and blue.
Psycho Red, Psycho Black, Psycho Blue,
Psycho yellow! Psycho pink!
Now we'll show you what a Psycho Ranger can do.
The Psycho Rangers. Exclusive to Amazon. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is partially a cover box. Meaning, if I'm not mistaken, it does. It opens up without actually cutting anything. I love that. So it says here, there's a little like note inscription. Basically says, "In space, Psycho Rangers. Created by Astronema to defeat the Space Rangers. The Psycho Rangers are the evil, violent counterparts of the Power Rangers in space. Each Psycho Ranger absorbed the brain waves of the same color Space Ranger, becoming a perfect adversary and deadly opponent." But yeah, the Psycho Rangers. Oh my god, they're exposed. I thought it had like a plastic cover or something. I can actually take these out if I wanted to, but I would be too afraid to like damage the box or anything. But check it out. The Psycho Rangers. Psycho Black, Psycho Yellow, Psycho Blue, Psycho Pink, and Psycho Red. That is what I call an awesome collection. Knowing that if I wanted to, I can take them out. I don't know if I want to though, because then I'm basically putting stress damage onto the plastic. But knowing I can do this, if I can, I believe I'm gonna buy one more set. One more set to display with the rest of my collection, because they need the Psycho Rangers in that collection. The ones that are properly displayed, open, with all these types of figures that are currently open, you know? And then keep one sealed up with the rest of the Legacy Lightning line. Dude, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I want to. You have no idea how badly I want to. But I can't. Because I know I'm gonna mess the whole box up. And it's so nicely packed, nicely neat. Not a scratch on it or anything. But check it out. We'll go here. Black. Yellow. Red. Blue. And pink. The Psycho Rangers. The purest of evil. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into getting another one of this. Just this one. And it's gonna be difficult because it might be sold out, or if I do get another one, this is gonna break the bank again. Because some of them, like the single packs, they cost 20 bucks. This one, I believe, cost 40, I think, maybe 30. Some of these cost like, I think it was 30. This one was expensive, 50. But this one was the most expensive. This one was $100. But so well worth it if you're a fan of Power Rangers, and if you're a fan of the Psycho Rangers, a fan of Power Rangers in space. This is a must-have for any Power Ranger fanatic. If you don't have any of them at all, if you have like the three that came out without the girls, I mean, you could just remain with those, but I think a complete set like this, when they're properly displayed like that, or even just in the box like this, totally 100% worth it. This is by far my favorite figure set from Power Rangers right now. That is until I probably open this one up. Remember I said that this one is connected to that? At some point in the Boom comics, not going to spoil it, but it's going to get partially spoiled. And I'm sorry about, if some of you guys don't read the comics, and I'm waiting for a TV series or a movie on this stuff, but basically, at some point, there was, I believe this started with Time Force. One of the Time Force Rangers, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you feel free. It's been a while and it's really hard to keep up with the way that Power Rangers is going right now. But, because it's all over the place with multi-universe. Basically, I believe it was the green Time Force Ranger. In an alternate universe, something happens to him. And I believe they said that he killed his entire team. And when he did, somehow, some way, somewhere, this guy basically created the Psycho Rangers. And the Psycho Rangers you see there are not the first Psycho Rangers you've seen. And in Power Rangers in Space, the Silver Ranger wore a costume that looked like a Psycho Ranger outfit, and it was silver, but he was not an original Psycho Ranger. It was a costume. For whatever reason, he was able to make a costume, put it over his actual Power Ranger suit, supposedly, and battle with it and everything, and trick the other Psycho Rangers, believing there was a Psycho Silver. Well, that's a total lie, just a costume. However, according to the comics, there was a Psycho Green.
What are you expecting, Santa Claus, maybe?
And Psycho Green was the creator of the Psycho Rangers. And this is 100% exclusive to Hasbro. You can only get this on their website. Psycho Green. You can't tell me the Psycho Rangers don't look awesome. Psycho Rangers were the best villains in Power Rangers history, in my opinion. And probably, a lot of people will probably say, yeah, that's a fact. Because just look at the helmet style. Look at the actual electricity of lightning that they produce. In the show, it's basically the same. They take over, they get inside the Power Ranger's head, and basically every single powers that the Power Rangers had, like, let me see if I have them. Yes, I do. Red Space Ranger. This is my Red Space Ranger that I grew up with as a kid. Still works, I believe. Yep. Lights up. It's very loose and stuff, but it's complete. Complete with all its accessories, not complete in box or anything like that. But anyway, this Red Ranger in the show, when the Red Psycho Ranger comes after him, he basically, in a way, almost like does like a vampire-ish thing, where instead of like sucking the blood, he basically drains the energy from the Power Ranger. And basically whatever this guy can do and the weapons he has and abilities and stuff like that, he's able to have. Basically the Red Psycho can do it also, and not only that, but better. Knowing his every move, knowing everything. The way they were defeated is each ranger had to fight a different color of those rangers. So yeah, but Psycho Green, there was never a Psycho Green until the comics hit. So yeah, Psycho Green. They made a Psycho Green for the Legacy line that Bandai put out. I believe it was Comic-Con exclusive, and I could not get a hold of that one. I was so upset that I couldn't get a hold of that one or the Silver Ranger from that Legacy line, because it was Comic-Con exclusive to Power Rangers Morphicon, I believe it was. And yeah, so I'm happy that I got this one. Because now this one can actually blend in with the rest of all those. So who knows, maybe one day I will open these up and properly display them the way that they should. Well, there you have it, guys. That is today's video on National Power Rangers Day. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a like if you do. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more Power Ranger content, as well as more content on other things such as video games, trading cards, and other toys and collectibles. So be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell, as well as also leave a comment, because I would totally love to hear from you guys to find out what type of Power Ranger collectibles do you collect. Is it figures, video games, cosplay stuff, props? I would love to read about it. So make sure to go ahead and do so, and I will be seeing you on the next video. As they say, once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Well, once a Ranger fan, always a Ranger fan. So I'll be doing this a little more often. Stay tuned, because I will be getting to the part 2 with the video games that I was telling you I was going to do. So be sure to keep an eye out for that video. Until then, take care, be safe, and may the power protect you always.